Race weekend is back with one of the last motorsports event that managed to run before the ECQ got the motorsport season suspended. Here are some of the highlights and some interviews of participants at the third round of the 2020 Philippine Autocross Championship Series. We are back after a long layoff here in Robinson, Santa Rosa for the third round of the 2020 Philippine Autocross Championship Series as we officially kick off the hot weather season. It was a hot Sunday, March 8, when the third round of the 2020 PAX was run at the sprawling parking area of the Robinson Santa Rosa. It was, as all PAX race weekends have been for a number of years, a well-attended affair. Underneath a line of tents were cars being prepped for timed runs around twin autocross tracks laid out on a hot paved surface. Over at a designated start lines queued drivers and cars called to be flagged off. The challenge is to go fast around the course, outlined by pylons and markers, with short straights, tight chicanes, 180-degree turns, without hitting pylons and going off the course. It was a hectic and busy day for organizers to get all the entries in many class championships, based on car make and type and levels of modification to complete their runs and set official times. And the third round was particularly heavy with entries. There were the contenders vying for overall and class championships. There were the weekend racers looking to sate their appetite for speed. Many were first-timers to the sport, lured by the promise of excitement and thrill of organized motorsports. Boys and girls alike, like Ethan Paredes.
I found out about PAX from my uncle, and he said he wanted me to try this. He said, I like, cars. He said I should try racing.
And how did Ethan find his first ever try in autocross racing? And will he continue to do so?
I had only run 1 out of 4. I have 3 more categories to run. To practice my skills and possibly try to to get better in racing.
And what about his ultimate goal in motorsport?
My new idol is Philippine, got fastest lap a while ago, which is my age, and I really aspire to be him someday.
Also newcomers to Autocross at the third round were Kirsten Sanchez and Dorothea Legaspi. Kirsten was drawn to Autocross by her father, from whom she got tips on how to tackle the course, and from PAC's main man, Danny Santiago himself as well.
Yung first, inano po sa akin ni Sir Daddy, yung late braking po. Tapos yung sa dad ko naman po, sa pylon po na mas malapit po na.
Kirsten's first runs were, as expected, not quite her liking but she expects to improve, especially with plans to participate in racing clinics.
Hindi pa po siya masyadong maganda kasi first time pa po, pero nag-expect po ako na improvement. Sasali po ako ng mga clinics para po mag-improve yung performance.
Meanwhile, Dorothea was also drawn to Autocross by her father, as well as friends who are into motorsports, who shared one race car in the round. She also got tips on how to take the cars from her dad.
Actually, I didn't have any preparations. This is actually my first time seeing this car and driving this car. I got tips from his father, and the guy who owns this car told me about how to take the turns as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Dorothea rode shotgun on board with Radsmir Salazar, whose father raced with Danny Santiago in earlier times. Radsmir was a downhill bike racer who now finds racing in four-wheel vehicles more enjoyable, even while using an unfamiliar car.
I found car racing a little bit enjoyable than, because I used to race downhill bikes back in the day, but car racing is more enjoyable. I have my first run earlier, didn't go well. This is the first time I raced this car. Found the car a little bit loose because we didn't have a time to tune it properly.
The third round of the 2020 Philippine Autocross Championship Series also saw local motorsports legend Mike Potenciano participating as guest driver for the Mark Young Racing Team. The team also has defending 2019 PAX champion Inigo Anton.
So, this is a fast-paced league, no? And a lot of young racers. Give us your thoughts on your participation here in the 2020 Philippine Autocross Championship Series.
Well, like you said, it's very competitive. And we're very happy to note that Mark Young Racing Team has invited us over to race again. So our first one was in R33 San Simon track. We got second overall in the overall class. And we got third place in the open division. So right now, Carlos and Inigo Anton are doing well. So we'll just be here to try and be a buffer between them and the other racers. So try to they missed the second leg. So they have to catch up in points. This is where we have to go in between the others.
When you say PAX, what do you look forward to? I mean, for you, how different is this compared to the racing leagues that you have participated in?
We've also done a lot of autocross, also slaloms before, and this is really good to get your feet wet. As you can see, any kind of car you can modify, you can keep it stock, and you can race them already. So hopefully you also have the what we call the best pakal. So the ultra modified cars with the very good drivers on it and very fast engines. And I think this is where you'll see also the best drivers running.
Even at 15 going on 16, Inigo Anton should already be mentioned among the ranks of the country's best drivers. And after missing the second round, Inigo returned to show that he indeed is a deserving champion. Still, the young Anton remains focused on defending his title in 2020 against a bevy of strong contenders.
It was like almost a month of no driving or no had a trip with my family, a vacation. So feels good to be back here again, once racing again. And I know there was a lot of pressure on me because in the second round I wasn't there and a lot of people like even Danby showed up. So I knew I had to be prepared for this round. And I just did my first 2 runs. I was able to get the best time. So I'm really happy that I'm back, yeah. Right now, there's really a lot of people. Of course, I'd say my greatest competitor is my dad right now. He's about to race, you know, he taught me everything. Our driving styles are the same, so it's gonna be an interesting fight. Also, Tita Mike Potenciano, my teammate also was a legend in Philippine racing, and he's here today also to try and fight against it. And also Ryan Ablang was also overall, I think, last time, so it's gonna be a very busy season. Hopefully that we can come in top at the end of the season.
Inigo was fastest overall in the third round of the 2020 PAX. His father Carlos was second, and second round winner Ryan Ablang was third. At the time, all indications pointed to a busy and hot summer for motorsports, and competitive year for overall and class championship in Autocross and other motorsports disciplines. Alas, this was not to be, as before the month of March was over, the COVID-19 pandemic forced authorities to declare the enhanced community quarantine. Still, many are hopeful that the motorsports events will resume this year, even under social or physical distancing norms. Before the ECQ was declared, the 2020 motorsports season was just getting started, with many racers and teams, newbies and veterans alike, all eager to show up for exciting race weekends. Here's praying for the ECQ to end and the racing to begin anew.